20 years after their bitter fallout, Thackeray cousins Uddhav and Raj have come together, reuniting for the Maha BMC polls as they face, let's face it, an existential challenge in Mumbai. The alliance between the Uddhav Sena, the Sena UBT and MNS was formally announced. And there was a lot of symbolism involved as both Uddhav and Raj Thackeray paid homage to late Bala Saheb Thackeray earlier today. Uddhav Thackeray has emphasized that the partnership aims to save Maharashtra. Raj Thackeray has insisted that the state comes above personal feud. So there's a lot, of course, that's being read into every line that's been uttered by these leaders. But here's the one issue. The seat-sharing deal is yet to be finalized. Both sides are bargaining, pushing hard for more seats. As far as the Aghadi goes, it's weakened. There's no Congress in the fray. But the Thackeray cousins now also have another big challenge. They have to deal with their seat-sharing issues and then face a resurgent Mahayuti in the fight for Mumbai.
20 years after their power feud and public fallout, the Thackeray cousins have come together for the Maharashtra BMC polls where they face an existential crisis. The Sena UBT chief and MNS Supremo came together as alliance partners in Mumbai, announcing that they will contest the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation elections together. The cousins first paid homage to late Bala Saheb Thackeray, a moment their cadre cherished dearly. Uddhav asserted that the alliance is to save Maharashtra, while Raj Thackeray said that the state is above any personal feud.
आज आम्ही आमचं कर्तव्य म्हणून एकत्र आलेलो आहोत आणि मी मागेच म्हटलं एकत्र आलो आहोत ते एकत्र राहण्यासाठी.
कुठल्याही वादापेक्षा आणि भांडणापेक्षा महाराष्ट्र मोठा आहे आणि मला असं वाटतं तिथून त्या आज आम्ही एकत्र येण्याची सुरुवात त्या वाक्यापासून झाली की बरेच दिवस याची प्रतीक्षा महाराष्ट्र करत होता. ती शिवसेना आणि महाराष्ट्र नवनिर्माण सेनेची युती झाली हे आज आम्ही आपल्याला जाहीर करत आहोत.
The alliance is yet to finalize the seat sharing. Uddhav's Lieutenant Sanjay Raut says there will not be any problem as it is between members of the same family.
नंबर शेयरिंग जो होता है वो व्यापार होता है. यहाँ भाइयों में व्यापार नहीं है, ये फैमिली है, समझा. हम देख लेंगे हमको क्या करना है.
But Maharashtra Chief Minister Fadnavis has mocked the alliance and said that it will not have any impact.
हाइप तो ऐसे क्रिएट की जा रही है मानो रशिया और यूक्रेन ही साथ में आ गया और ज़ेलेंस्की और पुतिन बात कर रहे हैं, जिन्होंने तुष्टीकरण की नीति को अपनाकर एक प्रकार से अपना वोट बैंक खो दिया है. ऐसी दो पार्टियां साथ में आई है तो उनके साथ में आने से कौन सा फर्क पड़ने वाला है.
देखिए, ठाकरे ब्रांड पहले था, वो बाला साहब ठाकरे ब्रांड था. ये ब्रांड वगैरह ये चलने वाले नहीं. अगर ये चल जाते तो ये नगर पालिका पंचायत की जो भी चुनाव हुए उसमें इतनी मार क्यों पड़ती है इनको.
The election season has immediately turned into hate season with the MNS issuing dire warnings for North Indians.
अगर आप मराठी का अपमान करोगे तो बटोगे तो पिटोगे और नहीं बटोगे तो भी पिटोगे.
The Mahavikas Aghadi, remember, had failed to impress voters in the Maharashtra local body polls, ending up on the losing side. Now, in the fight for the BMC, it's Thackerays with a weakened Pawar and no Congress against a resurgent Mahayuti. Can the Thackeray cousins stop the Mahayuti juggernaut in Mumbai? With Mustafa Sheikh and Abhijit Karande, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let me bring in on this broadcast Rajdeep Sardesai to decode what really this big patch-up actually means in Maharashtra politics. Rajdeep, 20 years ago, when you had the breakup happening between the Thackeray cousins, did you see this happening eventually, that they would kind of patch up and fight together politically?
Well, it was a bitter parting all those years ago, and therefore you could argue that you couldn't really forecast them coming together, but you never say never in politics. And the truth is, over the last 20 years, there have been occasions where there have been attempts made to bring the two cousins together, but it's never worked out at the last moment. This time it's different, Akshita, because for Uddhav Thackeray and his party, the BMC elections are a battle for survival, do or die. And for Raj Thackeray, it's a battle for relevance because Raj Thackeray has completely lost his political equity with all the somersaults that he's done over the years. 2014, he was supporting Narendra Modi. 2019, he was anti-Modi. Then he switched again and decided to back Mr. Modi last year. So Raj Thackeray is fighting for political relevance. Uddhav Thackeray is fighting for survival. And together, they are trying to revitalize brand Thackeray. So it's in that context, I think, that they've come together. This is, I wouldn't call it opportunism, but it is just the best case scenario for them. They had little option but to come together, given the fact, Akshita, that the BJP has now emerged as the dominant party in Maharashtra and particularly Hindutva party #1 after Balasaheb Thackeray passed away.
You know, you say it's the need of the hour, Rajdeep, for both sides, which is what perhaps necessitated them coming together in this manner. But is this the ideal scenario? You know, we're talking about a Raj Thackeray's eminence, which has never actually tasted any electoral success. As far as Uddhav Sena goes, it's been rocked by rebellions. There's been a lot of questions over Uddhav Thackeray's leadership. So can the two actually work any magic?
Well, look, never say never in politics. The truth of the matter is that there is a core Shiv Sena vote base out there. And the only hope that the Shiv Sena has is to consolidate it. The so-called Marathi Manus or the Marathi-speaking populace of Mumbai. Now, that's declined over the years because of migration. It's about 35%, according to most estimates, is the Marathi Manus. The Shiv Sena UBT is hoping that can they get the Muslim vote also in Mumbai like they got last year in the Lok Sabha and make it what is called the Mamu factor, Marathi plus Muslim. Now, Raj Thackeray is the kind of leader who immediately alienates the North Indian constituency, which is also considerable in Mumbai. So, in that sense, it's very difficult to predict how successful they will be eventually in the elections. But as you just asked me, they have no option. If they fight apart from each other, they only end up eroding each other's vote bank even further. Remember, the Shiv Sena itself split with Eknath Shinde taking away a sizable chunk of legislators and corporators with him. So this is a greatly downsized Shiv Sena. The only way it can hope to have a fighting chance in the BMC is to come together, which is what they've done. And I don't see problems for the workers on the ground. I think they will actually be enthused. But whether that's enough to actually take on the BJP juggernaut is uncertain. One more factor, the Congress now, as a result, will withdraw from the so-called MVA alliance. So the Congress will fight on its own. And therefore, you don't have a united opposition against the BJP like you had in the Lok Sabha.
But is the Congress really a factor? You know, Rajdeep, in the larger scheme of things, if you look at the BMC elections, was this a gamble that was worth it, essentially, for the Uddhav Sena to bring Raj Thackeray in? And if the Congress wasn't okay with being a part of the Aghadi in the scheme of things and how things are, is this a gamble that was in the right direction, essentially?
You know, this is something we can only answer on the 16th of January when the results come out. But relations between the Congress and the Sena UBT have been strained at the local level. There is a section of the Congress which feels that it must fight elections on their own, build the party. There is a section of the Shiv Sena UBT which feels that tying up with the Congress has given the BJP a chance to suggest that the Shiv Sena has betrayed Balasaheb Thackeray's Hindutva plank. So there was unease on the ground. In that sense, the Shiv Sena, UBT and the MNS coming together on the ground, as I said, could enthuse the cadres. Whether that's enough to defeat a mighty force now like the BJP has become in Maharashtra and in Mumbai is uncertain. Just to give you a bit of history, in 2017, when the elections were held last time for BMC, Shiv Sena got, a united Shiv Sena got 84, BJP got 82. So these elections will be very tightly fought. And who knows, it could even throw up a hung cooperation where 15, 20 seats, if the Congress picks up, could make a big difference.
You know, looking just at the pictures that we're seeing right now, Rajdeep, you know, everyone's reminded of the whole legacy fight over Balasaheb Thackeray and his legacy between the two cousins, between Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. Seeing these pictures today, right now, of the two cousins kind of patching up, there's still a question mark over who really takes forward the legacy in the true sense of Balasaheb Thackeray now.
Absolutely. When I look at those pictures, I can see what their opponents will say, Parivarvad. Classic example of Parivarvad, the children of Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray, Aditya Amit Thackeray also there, their wives there, that this is Parivarvad. But yes, there is that legacy battle which has to be fought. Remember, it's more than a decade since Balasaheb Thackeray passed away. And the breakup of the Shiv Sena in 2022 and the manner in which Eknath Shinde took away such a sizable section of legislators and corporators has clearly meant that that battle for legacy is very much on. And we'll have to see how that battle now really plays out, Akshita, because as I said, this is an existential fight now for the Shiv Sena. They can't afford to lose the BMC. The BMC was the very basis on which the Shiv Sena spread its wings across Maharashtra. This is where they made their first dent in the late 60s and early 70s, got a mayor in the early 70s. So all these years later, it's almost as if the wheel has come full circle. You're going back to where it all started, hoping to build again from ground zero.
Okay, come, of course, Jan 16th, we will know how effective this alliance and this reunion of the Thackeray cousins has actually been. Thanks very much, Rajdeep, for joining us here on India Today with your analysis, with your perspective of what's playing out right now in Maharashtra. Interesting times. The next few weeks in Mumbai will, of course, be crucial in the countdown to the BMC elections. Long delayed, finally happening in January. But let's talk about Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. Are they a formidable force or not? Let's look at really their strengths and weaknesses. You know, we're looking at essentially a coalition strength because it brings together the Thackeray heirs to counter BJP's dominance and therefore tap into a vote bank that is largely the BJP's. They're counting on that, on consolidating that vote bank. They also, of course, will be focusing on Mumbai. There's a strong presence there. Shiv Senics, of course, are known to be very, very strong in Mumbai, in Pune. But it's not just the urban pockets, but also rural parts of Maharashtra, where they're hoping that they have a wider voter base that now comes together. It's no longer split. Both sides together brings that vote bank together. It also balances regional caste and ideological representation in the state. So you have, in a sense, a political balance that's been formed with the Thackeray cousins coming together. As far as governance goes, now there is experience in the sense that you've got Uddhav Thackeray, who's been the chief minister previously. And so there is that aspect of governance experience, handled crises like floods and COVID. Now, that is one aspect that they will constantly campaign on as well. They will also be looking at consolidating anti-BJP votes and improving chances in state and local elections. But to this, the challenge will also be that you've got, the Congress that's not a part of the Aghadi. And so there will be a big question mark on whether because of that, it will be split further. You don't have a united Aghadi per se. So that unity message has also been dented. But the BMC polls are going to be a litmus test for every single party. As far as local governance goes, it controls key services, water, roads, sewage, hospitals, and so every party is giving it their all. Very, very importantly, it's the richest body. BMC has a municipal budget of 40,000 crore rupees for city projects, which is why political parties will be scrambling to get control of the BMC. It also shows the public mood and hints at state election trends. It's every single time an aspect to watch out for. What really the mood is on ground from local polls. Now, winning the BMC boosts grassroots strength. It boosts influence in Mumbai, in a very urban pocket of Maharashtra. But also, as far as the Mahavikas Aghadi goes, losing the BMC may be the final nail in the coffin. If they lose, will the Thackeray cousins still stay together? Or will they separate, saying this experiment hasn't really worked? This is a failed experiment. We're going to continue tracking what's really playing out in Maharashtra. Let's cut across to a news break coming in. Rahul Gandhi is meeting with the Unnao rape survivor as we speak. The rape survivor is currently at Rahul Gandhi's residence. This comes after she staged a protest last night in the national capital and was stopped, barred from protesting because she wasn't given permission by the cops. Remember that the Unnao rape survivor has been lashing out over the recent verdict that came in favor of rapist Kuldeep Singh Sengar, which has in fact gone ahead and given him relief. He's still behind bars, but the victim, her family maintain that there's serious danger to their life if he's granted bail. Now, the rape survivor has also said that she would like to meet with the Prime Minister and Home Minister Amit Shah to put forward her grievances as well, maintaining that Kuldeep Singh Sengar is a threat.
आपकी बात हुई है राहुल जी से, क्या बोला उन्होंने क्या बोला?
हमें मिलना है, हमको अपने सारी दुख तकलीफ बताना है, क्या हमारे साथ में हुआ है। मैं पीएम से ही मिलने के लिए बोल रही हूँ और अमित शाह से भी, प्राइम मिनिस्टर से भी, मैं राष्ट्रपति, एक महिला है, मैं उनसे मिलना चाह रही हूँ।
क्या चाहेंगे आप? राहुल ने क्या बोला?
मैं न्याय चाहती हूँ, न्याय। मैं सबसे मिलना चाहती हूँ, मैं सबसे मिला अपना दुख दर्द बता सकती हूँ, बता दूँ मेरे साथ अन्याय हुआ है।
We bring in Rahul Gautam for more details on this. Rahul, dramatic scenes playing out there with Rahul Gandhi extending a message of solidarity to the Unnao rape survivor and her family. Rahul Gandhi also questioned the manner in which she was treated last night at India Gate when she chose to stand there in protest.
Absolutely, Akshita, and in fact, this meeting has come after Rahul Gandhi's tweet that he's put out on Twitter, saying that the recent verdict is unacceptable and actually, it's a sheer injustice to the rape survivor of Unnao incident. And in fact, Rahul Gandhi said that this is nothing but an attempt to silence, the family, and that he's not going to let this happen. That he stands in solidarity, with the victim family. And as we speak, Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, is meeting rape survivor, her mother, and Yogita Bhayana, who's a women activist, for past 15 minutes. And it seems that this is what we're learning from our sources, that that Congress party will be providing all the assistance that they could to the family, and obviously they're also going to make it an issue, given the fact that the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, if you go through their tweets, they've been saying that women's safety, women's security has only become a slogan under the current ruling regime, and therefore they're going to raise this issue on various platforms. So clearly it seems, and when the the survivor came here, I was here only, and we asked her that what is she really seeking, to which she said that she's going to meet Rahul Gandhi, going to seek assistance, help to raise her issue. In fact, she put it in the same breath that she would also like to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister
She's
Amit
put
Shah
forward a request to
to
meet
share
with the
her
Prime
audio.
Minister
So
and the
clearly
Home Minister as well to put forward her grievances, seeking maximum support right now, because she says that at this point, with Sengar getting relief from the courts, her whole family is in danger. Thanks, Rahul, for those details. More news break coming in. Now, the Delhi government has revoked GRAP 4 as air quality in the national capital improves. What this essentially means is that several restrictions that were put in place in Delhi have now been removed. This is with regards to vehicular movement into the national capital, construction work at certain times. All of those particular curbs will now be lifted. With GRAP 4 being revoked, we'll see GRAP 3 being put in place in the national capital. And this because there's been just about a marginal improvement in air quality. It is still, let's be very clear, an SOS in the national capital. Situation is still very bad. Some would argue that maybe the air quality has gotten better because GRAP 4 was in place. So can we really afford to see this kind of steps being taken right now? Milind Sharma is joining us with more details on this. Milind, you're seeing essentially a seesaw approach. Air quality comes down, courtesy the restrictions put in place. Immediately, GRAP 4 is reduced to GRAP 3. Again, the air quality becomes bad. Again, restrictions go up.
Well, that's absolutely right, Akshita, because here we see that the air quality came down to the poor category in 270s. And right now, if you lift the GRAP restrictions, again, we'll be looking at the same scenario and we'll be back to where we were from the start. And that seems to be the problem with the way CAQM has been imposing and removing the GRAP restrictions, because ideally the GRAP restriction should stay at least throughout the winter. We've had a western disturbance. From that, we have had higher wind speeds that has helped disperse particulate matter in the air, but that does not mean that the pollution has reduced. And which is why the CAQM has also quoted the Indian Meteorological Department saying that there have been conducive weather conditions. However, in the coming days, I should tell you, because I also cover the IMD, the weather conditions are going to deteriorate once again. And we are going to look at, the trapping of particulate matter around the 27th and 28th again. So is the CAQM going to impose the GRAP 4 restrictions again? We're going to go back and forth like this. And certainly what you just said, this is a seesaw approach that the government is taking on restrictions being removed at the moment when we need them the most.
There will be serious questions about what is the scientific planning being done to tackle pollution instead of responding to what's happening around us. Thanks very much, Milind, for joining us with those details. GRAP 4 now being revoked in the national capital. As Milind tells us, with the current pollution levels, the environment as it stands, the weather conditions, you're going to see pollution levels shoot right back up. All right, let's talk about an India Today investigative report as well. GRAP 4 till now has been in effect in Delhi, which also means that every car that enters into the national capital region needed PUCs, which is pollution certificates. What we've seen now is that there is no checks, no fear, no accountability. There's a blatant breach of rules meant to keep Delhi's air breathable, those rules being flouted left, right and center. PUC certificates, those pollution control certificates that cars, vehicles are supposed to have, they're now available for a very small price. Corruption exercise out in the open. Essentially, the idea is that people don't need to go and check their vehicles. They get these pollution certificates just by paying a certain amount and so will not get caught by the cops.
Outside Jyotinagar police station in northeast Delhi, a BS4 Swift car with the registration number DL12CH0139 stands parked. Its pollution certificate expired on the 5th of November 2023. Inside the same police station, a motorcycle with the registration number DL5SC P9887 listed as case property has a pollution certificate that has expired since the 12th of June 2025. Neither vehicle has moved, yet PUCC certificates have been issued. At a Delhi government-authorized PUCC center in Gokulpuri, a special investigation team meets the operator Harsh Khanna. We pose as car dealers and say that our vehicle is overheating and cannot be brought for testing. Harsh Khanna immediately offers a solution. No test required. When asked whether the certificate will be made from Ghaziabad, Harsh insists that it will be issued from Delhi itself. We question the authenticity of the certificate.
सर्टिफिकेट जेन्युइन होगा ना?
सर्टिफिकेट जेन्युइन होगा. ये देखो ना, आप तो इसकी बात कर रहे हो, ये तो बड़ी बड़ी गाड़ियां करवाते हैं लोग बाद में. डीजल हो गई, पेट्रोल हो गई, सारी कस्टमरों की ऐसी तो आती है गाड़ी. बड़ी बड़ी गाड़ियां करवाते हैं लोग बाद में.
The deal is sealed. 2 vehicles, 400 rupees in cash.
मैं 2 गाड़ियों का नंबर भेज दूंगा आपको. फोटो खींच के ना. हाँ भेज, ठीक है ना. मैं PDF भेज दूंगा आपको. मैंने 400 रुपये आपको दिया. ठीक है. क्या है, डीजल है साई? पेट्रोल की है. दोनों पेट्रोल है ना. ठीक है, ठीक है. आज मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, मैं जैसे भेजूँगा कितनी देर में आ जाएगा? भाई मुश्किल 10 मिनट. ठीक है.
10 minutes later, Exactly as promised, POCC certificates arrive on our phones without any vehicle inspection, without any pollution test. This is the POCC scam in Delhi, where certificates are sold all over WhatsApp and toxic vehicles keep running, and the law applies only to the common citizen. With Nitin Jain in Delhi, an India Today Special Investigation Team report.
All right, let's get to a news break on India Today's investigation. The Delhi government has taken note of India Today's expose on how these PUC certificates are so easily available for people to buy without actually conducting tests of their vehicles, without those checks. Delhi Minister Ashish Sood has said that strict action has been taken, that several centres that have been operating and providing these certificates for money have now been identified and suspended. The Delhi government has reiterated that anyone who breaks rules will face action and there will be a crackdown. Listen in to what the Delhi minister said.
हमारे यहाँ एनफोर्समेंट और रेगुलेशन दोनों बहुत गंभीरता और गहराई से चल रहे हैं। हमने पीयूसी सर्टिफिकेट जारी करने वाले जो लगभग 800 से अधिक सेंटर हैं, उनकी जांच शुरू की है। उनमें से कुछ पे जो अनियमितताएं पाई गई हैं, उनको तुरंत सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है और जो एक मानकों के अनुसार, जो एग्रीमेंट्स के अनुसार 7-8 दिन बाद उन्हें पक्का ब्लैकलिस्ट करके हटा देंगे। और हमने आपके माध्यम से मैं सब पीयूसीसी जारी करने वालों को और सभी उन स्टेशंस को चलाने वालों को ये बात बताना चाहता हूं, ये सरकार दिल्ली के जनता की सांसों के रखवालों की सरकार है, गलत काम नहीं होगा।
An incident of a man harassing, sexually assaulting a woman in Bengaluru in broad daylight has shocked the city. This is the footage of a young woman being attacked by a man who she had actually turned down on Instagram. Here's that video. We've of course blurred the victim's face to protect her identity, but we want all of you to see this monster's face clearly. He gets out of his car with a clear mission to target this young girl. Right next to the victim he stands, he grabs her, assaults her. And again, let me reiterate, this is happening in broad daylight in Bengaluru. There's barely anyone on the road, but the few who are there, nobody steps in, nobody stops this man. Now again, I want to put the focus on who this person is. His name is Naveen Kumar. And why did he attack her in this manner? Because she turned him down. The two had met on Instagram. They were friends for the last few months, and then he got all sorts of ideas, assumed that this would be beyond a friendship, started harassing her, saying he was in love, and despite her making it clear she didn't want to pursue a relationship, he continued to harass her. This is what's mentioned in the police complaint. Now, the reason I'm also highlighting this is because we've seen far too many cases like this. Far too often do we see this happening in India, of a woman being forced into accepting a man's feeling, having to reciprocate his feelings, and if she doesn't, they attempt this to threaten her, to force her, and these kind of methods to tarnish her reputation. This brave girl filed a complaint, and the monster, Naveen Kumar, rightly is behind bars. Nagarjan Dwarkanath is joining us with more details on this. Nagarjan, shocking incident, and the footage really is horrifying to see how brazenly he steps out of the car in broad daylight to attack her. We understand, however, that a complaint has been filed by the survivor, and fortunately that man has been taken into custody.
Well, that's absolutely true, and this also shows the negative side of what happens through social media, right? And they got friends over Instagram, and this man is then forced the woman to take the proposal, and then when she said no to it, he kept persuading, is what we are told. He stalked her near the PG place, he stalked her near the office premises, and then finally on December 22nd, he assaulted her and harassed her, and rightfully the woman approached the police, and now he's behind the bars and booked for assault case on women as well. But the larger question is about the behavior of such men, not just in public, but in many spaces also, Akshita, that with what authority do they go ahead, and why can't they take no for an answer? And this is a larger question that all of us need to answer. But rightfully, the police have nabbed the culprit and sent out a message, also the statement saying police are keen on looking out all such prey and all such accused who are trying to do this would be behind bars.
All right, Nagarjun, thanks for those details. Good to see, at least in this particular case, a precedent has been set where immediately the victim spoke out, chose to file a police complaint, and the cops acted swiftly. Looking at this particular footage, the man was easy enough to identify. Let's also take a look at all the other big stories coming in from the southern states. The DMK and its allies staged a protest in Tamil Nadu, particularly in Chennai, against the G Ramji Act. The demonstration saw participation from leaders of the DMK and its allies, who termed the move an attempt to erase Gandhi's legacy. Massive claim by AIADMK's, in fact, against the AIADMK. TVK leader Uddhav has claimed that most AIADMK and MGR loyal cadres are now backing the TVK. And so he's going ahead and suggesting that the AIADMK will be defeated in the elections. Just a day after Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announced Prakash Raj as the brand ambassador of the Bengaluru International Film Festival, the decision has sparked a political storm. BJP's attacked the government, criticizing the choice of Prakash Raj, known for his outspoken remarks against Karnataka. The festival, scheduled from January 29 to February 6, will be inaugurated by Siddaramaiah. Telugu actor Shivaji has issued a public apology following backlash over his recent remarks against women, against his colleagues. In his statement, he expressed regrets for his comments, acknowledging that they were inappropriate and hurtful. This comes after the actor had in fact gone on to talk about what women actors wear and how they should seek respect by covering themselves up. Now, the UDF has criticized the Guruvayur municipality in Thrissur for erecting a Christmas tree made entirely of empty beer bottles. UDF leaders called the display inappropriate and insensitive. Now, ahead of the Tamil Nadu elections, the TVK and DMK have been fighting it out over Periyar's legacy. On Periyar's death anniversary, TVK chief Vijay paid a tribute to, in fact, Periyar, calling him a rationalist warrior who fought false beliefs bravely. And remember that Vijay had also held a rally in Erode a couple of days ago, where, in fact, he'd spoken about following Periyar's legacy, about his ideology and how much he believes in the same, of social justice, of equality. And amid those comments from Vijay, you had Chief Minister Stalin taking on Vijay, claiming hostile forces were attempting to appropriate Periyar's legacy for political gains. Let me take this across to Pramod Madhav for more details. Pramod is joining us live from Chennai. Pramod, we're seeing now the DMK and TVK who've been fighting it out over minority votes, now over Periyar's legacy as well. What exactly was Chief Minister Stalin's message today?
Well, it's very simple, Akshita. This is a day of the death anniversary of Periyar, and that's the reason we could see the Chief Minister actually, in a way, kind of retaliating that either people would love Periyar or hate Periyar. But what's happening over here is that there are hostile forces which hate him. At the same time, there are hostile forces which is trying to steal his legacy. Very clearly, it looks like the Chief Minister is reading the ground over here, and that's what he's trying to say is this way, that TVK, in a way, is trying to steal the legacy of Periyar, because Periyar is one of the, we could say that the founding ideology for TVK. And that is why the Chief Minister has taken this particular day to hit back at Vijay. Akshita.
Pramod for those details. Let's move on and get you now a report from Telangana. Empty classrooms and fading roll calls are becoming the new reality in rural Telangana. We reported from Nalgonda yesterday about government schools struggling to retain students. Let's get you another ground report from another part of Telangana where, unfortunately, it's the same story.
India Today puts the spotlight on rural education crisis in Telangana. After the ground report from Nalgonda that revealed how parents are choosing private schools for their children and government schools are paying the price, we visit a government school in Khammam district.
Telangana's Khammam district has recorded zero student enrollment in 58 government schools this year. What are the factors that are leading to zero student enrollment or drop rate in the students' enrollment in government schools? Is it infrastructure, quality of education, migration, or economic status? We have visited Motapuram and Rajeshwarapuram schools which have also recorded zero student enrollment. Let's listen in to this ground report.
Government schools are facing a steady drop in student enrollment, reflecting a wider crisis in public education. Teachers, parents, and local leaders say the shift is linked to migration, financial pressure, and changing preferences among families.
పిల్లలు ముగ్గురు పిల్లలు రోజు ముగ్గురు పిల్లలు వస్తుంటే ఆ పిల్లల్ని ఈ పిల్లలు రాట్లేరని ఆ తండ్రికి తీసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోయారు, పెద్ద తండ్రికి తీసుకెళ్ళారు. కానీ సారీ గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్కి నేను స్కూల్లో అంగన్వాడీ నడిపిస్తున్నాను. ముగ్గురు పిల్లలకి నేను పిల్లల్ని స్కూల్లో నడిపిస్తున్నాను ఈ స్కూల్కి.
The government school in Motapuram currently has 17 students and 2 teachers, with only 5 new admissions this academic year.
మా స్కూల్లో 17 మంది పిల్లలు, 2 ఉపాధ్యాయులు ఉన్నామండి. ఈ సంవత్సరం మా స్కూల్లో ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్లో 5 పిల్లలు జాయిన్ అయ్యారండి. మొత్తం మా స్కూల్ స్ట్రెంత్ 17. ఇక్కడ కొన్ని గురుకుల పాఠశాలలో మా స్కూల్ నుంచి సీట్లు రావటం వల్ల కొంత స్ట్రెంత్ దానివల్ల తగ్గుతుంది. కొంచెం ఆర్థిక వెసులుబాటు ఉన్న పిల్లలు ప్రైవేట్ స్కూల్స్కి వెళ్ళడం వల్ల కొంత స్ట్రెంత్ తగ్గడానికి కారణమవుతుంది మా దగ్గర.
India Today spoke to the mother of a class 4 student who said she has been sending her child to a government school for the past 6 years as she could not afford private education.
మాకు ఆర్థిక స్తోమత లేక మేము ప్రైవేట్ స్కూల్కి పంపించాలి, గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్కే పంపిస్తున్నాం. మా పాపని 6th ఇయర్ నుంచి గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్లోనే పంపిస్తున్నాం. మా స్టడీ బాగా చెప్తున్నారు సార్లు, పిల్లల్ని కూడా బాగా కేర్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు. ప్రైవేట్ స్కూల్కి పంపకుండా గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్కే పంపిస్తున్నాం. మేము నాకు ఆర్థిక స్తోమత లేక మంచిగానే కేర్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు పిల్లల్ని. మిడ్ డే మీల్స్ కూడా బాగుంది.
Political leaders and villagers blamed government policies for the declining numbers.
ప్రధాన కారణం ఏంటంటే గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూళ్ళ మీద ఉన్న గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్లో వాళ్ళకి టీచర్స్కి అయితే ఆ స్కూల్ ఆవరణలోనైతే మనం కల్పించే మన వసతుల్లో కానీ అయితే వాళ్ళకి అందించే విద్యను పూర్తిగా వినియోగించుకొని అత్యుత్తమ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ టీచర్లు వీళ్ళందరూ ఉత్తమ వీళ్ళు శిక్షణ పొందినటువంటి టీచర్లు వీళ్ళ ద్వారా వీళ్ళ విద్యను మనం ఉపయోగించుకొని మన పిల్లలను కూడా రాణించగలిగే శక్తి వచ్చి ఇది ఏదైతే ఉందో మెడికల్ కాలేజీల్లో ఏ విధంగా అయితే మెడికల్ సీట్లలో గవర్నమెంట్ కాలేజీకే పిల్లలు ఎక్కువ ఫస్ట్ ప్రయారిటీ ఇస్తారు, అదేవిధంగా కూడా ఈ రాబోయే విద్యా సంవత్సరంలో విద్యలో కూడా ప్రైవేట్ స్కూళ్ళ కన్నా మిన్నగా గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్లో చదివే విద్యార్థులకే ప్రయారిటీ ఇచ్చే విధంగా ఆ టైప్ ఆఫ్ వేని మనం బట్టర్ రావాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. పిల్లలు తగ్గిపోవడానికి కారణం కూడా అదే.
గ్లోబలైజేషన్ ప్రభావం వల్ల ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం యొక్క ఆధిపత్యం ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా ఉండటం, ఆ ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం అనేది ప్రాథమికంగా ముఖ్యంగా ఈ సమాజాన్ని డామినేట్ చేస్తుంది. కాబట్టి మొత్తం కూడా ప్రైవేట్ పాఠశాలల వైపు ఇక్కడున్న సామాన్య కుటుంబాలకు చెందినటువంటి బడుగు బలహీన వర్గాల కుటుంబాలు కూడా ప్రైవేట్ స్కూళ్ళకి తమ పిల్లల్ని పంపటం వల్ల ఇలాంటి పాఠశాలల్లో ముఖ్యంగా ఇలాంటి పాఠశాలల్లో విద్యార్థుల సంఖ్య రావడానికి గణనీయపడుతూ ఉంది.
In Rajeshwarapuram, a school set up for the children of sugar factory workers also saw no enrollment. Several workers migrated to cities along with their families. With no students left, the school had to be shut down.
పాఠశాల నడిచేది 1 to 5th వరకు నడిచేది. ఇప్పుడు పిల్లలు లేరని 0 చేశారు ఆ స్కూల్ని. ఆ స్కూల్ మూసేశారు, కానీ అంగన్వాడీ సెంటర్ మాత్రం నడిపిస్తూనే ఉన్నాము. అంగన్వాడీ సెంటర్ మాత్రం నడిపిస్తున్నాము. వాళ్ళకి ప్రైమరీ స్కూల్కి మాత్రం పిల్లలు లేరు.
We are trying 1 or 2 years before we tried to open the school, but the children are not there, and also the teacher post also shifted to the other schools. That's why the 2 schools are closed since 2023. So that now the Mandal schools are happened in the 56 schools. 2 are closed up to now.
Migration, financial pressure, and parental preferences are reshaping education patterns in rural Telangana. Leaving government schools struggling to retain students. With Abdul Bashir, Bureau Report, India Today.